Welcome back to another episode of The Wealth Fact. I'm your host, Green Moon. Today we're talking about a cognitive trap that affects us all and is one of my favorite economic concepts I learned in college, the sunk cost fallacy. Have you ever stayed in a terrible movie just because you already paid for the ticket, or continued a project you knew was doomed simply because you had already invested so much time and money into it? If so, you've experienced the sunk cost fallacy. This is the tendency to continue an endeavor not because it's a good idea, but because of a past investment. We're going to explore why we fall for this trap, and most importantly, how to escape it. Let's fill your pocket. Section 1. Origins. Let's start with what exactly is the sunk cost fallacy. In traditional economics, it's a cost that's already been incurred and cannot be recovered. Think of it as water under the bridge. Classical economics says only future costs and benefits should matter, but we're not always rational. Rational choice theory assumes we make decisions to maximize utility, but behavior economics, pioneered by figures like Kahneman and Tversky, show we often deviate from logic. The term sunk costs originated in accounting, but its psychological impact was only recognized later. To understand the sunk cost fallacy, we need to look at our minds. Loss aversion, the tendency to feel the pain of loss more than the pleasure of gaining something, plays a huge role. Cognitive dissonance, the discomfort of holding conflicting beliefs, also derives us to justify bad decisions. Our egos and the need for self-justification are powerful motivators. We want to prove we are right. And then there's the escalation of commitment, where we invest more into failing projects to try to turn them around, and that's a recipe for disaster. Prospective theory helps explain why we chase sunk costs. We evaluate losses relative to a reference point, and the pain of loss drives our decision. Studies have shown even trained professionals fall prey to this bias. Neuroscience research reveals that decision-making involving sunk costs activates brain regions associated with emotional pain. The sunk cost fallacy impacts entire organizations and even government. Companies clinging on to outdated models like Blockbuster or Kodak. Governments continue to fund failing projects or certain wars. It even affects how we address climate change, with industries resisting to change due to prior investments. We stay in jobs or education paths we no longer believe in simply because of past investments. Letting go of sunk costs is hard. We have emotional investments, and letting go feels like cutting a part of ourselves away. We're often driven by the illusion of progress, believing that if we just invest a little more, things will turn around. The fear of regret and failure is often a powerful force, but we can overcome this bias by reframing the situation, focusing on future opportunities rather than past loss. By adopting an opportunity cost mindset, help us see what we could gain by changing course. Regular evaluation and self-awareness are also essential. And don't underestimate the value of external advice. In financial investing, this fallacy is particularly dangerous. Investors hold on to losing stocks, average down, and refuse to sell real estate for less than what they paid for. Venture capitalists continue funding failing startups. To avoid this, set clear criteria, regularly review your portfolio, and focus on future potential. Leaders must be vigilant about avoiding this trap. They should evaluate projects regularly, encourage innovation, and create a culture that values learning from mistakes. Ethical considerations are also crucial, and leaders should invest in developing their decision-making skills. Thank you for joining us on this short Pocket Byte episode. We hope this episode gave you some valuable insight into the sunk cost fallacy. Remember, financial decisions should be based on future potential and not past investments. Until next time.